Welcome at the VPPR session for marketing. Today we have Nguyen, who's going to tell us a little bit more about the marketing plan that she had for her Toastmasters club, Rosedale. Nguyen.
Thank you, Elizabeth. Good morning, fellow Toastmaster and VPPR. This section is just to share an example of a PR strategy that I developed for my club, which is Rosedale Toastmaster in the North Shore, Auckland, so that we can discuss together and learn together. There's no right or wrong because each club will be different, so you should discuss and align with your president of your club when you develop your plan. So I would like to share my PR plan. So first, any strategy should start with an objective, and our club objective is to increase 5 new members by the end of Toastmaster year. So I believe that many of you have here already know about your club target. So next is know your target audience in order to communicate effectively. So my club target is 25 to 54 years old. And why do I choose this target? I will explain later, but this does not mean that we do not accept members who are under 25 or over 54 years old. So their jobs can be students or working officer. They have a need in improved communications, presentations, and this leadership skill, and they are eager to learn, passionate, and support others. And probably their media habits will be quite active on social media such as Facebook or Instagrams. So now I would like to explain why I choose target audience from 25 to 54 years old. Based on New Zealand demographics last year, we can see that majority of New Zealanders is 25 to 54 years old. And another figure I got it from Toastmaster International is majorities of our club Toastmaster club members also 25 to 54 years old. So how about their needs? Why do we know about their needs? You probably can ask Toastmaster members in your club as well as reference from other factors. For example, I based on the fact sheet I got from Toastmaster International. There is top 3 reasons for joining Toastmaster. That is more effective speakers and confidence in speaking and would like to be a better presenter. So there are some key reasons for joining, but it's also different based on expectation of each club members. So probably every members, they have different interests. Some would like to join Toastmaster just because they want to networking or something like that, but that is the majority of the top 3 reasons for joining Toastmaster. Based on this one, we can tailor-make our communication message to meet the needs of the members. So third, we should understand the journey of our prospective members. So where are the touch points of the new members? So take me as an example. I know about Toastmaster via my friends. Then I share the information about Toastmaster to explore about Toastmaster, about the nearest clubs, as well as to find Facebook page of the clubs or the district. So this is just the way we observe from ourselves, and you also can explore the journey of the members in our club, so we can understand about this one. If you want to understand their journey, you can do the small survey to understand about this one. If you are interested in this one, I also can share an example of the survey that I'm doing for my clubs as well, to know about their journey. So based on the touch point of prospective members, so we can identify what is the effective communication channels, which is word of mouth and social media. And this also proved by Nielsen, one of the top global research company. Of course, based on our sense, based on our gut feeling, based on our personal experience, we also can understand that when we would like to buy or use anything, we also think that the recommendation from your friends is more reliable than any others of information, isn't it? Regarding to word of mouth, the benefits of word of mouth are more credible and influential, and it also can be leveraged by both offline and online through the sharing from your club members. So regarding social media, so there's many Instagram, WhatsApp, LinkedIn, but why we choose Facebook as the top channels? Just because based on research from We Are Social and Hootsuite, they recommend that Facebook, they find out that Facebook and YouTube are the top social media channel. So that's why we just to focus our efforts on the top channels. We are on a working person, or can be a student, and we are so busy with many things. So some people, they can leverage, promote the club through many channels, but we just focus our efforts in one or the two top channel that help us to focus, rather than we spend our efforts in too many channels. That is my perspective, because myself is also quite busy. So after that, I come up with the PR strategy that is focused on our target members, and we leverage the word of mouth of our club members through offline and online channels, and we increase the awareness about our clubs via Facebook page. However, regarding to PR, we all know that we do not pay. That is, all are free, as Elizabeth already shared. So in order to promote our content should be very important. This is a key, and we should provide the information that is informative, relevant, useful, and credible information that can get the attention from audience. So for word of mouth, you can get support from your club members. I mentioned earlier, for example, like the storytelling from them or the content sharing. So we can get support, ask support from them to share the post, or share their review or comment about our clubs on their personal channel, or personal account, or we can get feedback and inputs from them about our activities on the page. So for example, when we say about something, they say that you should do this or you should do this, so to get a better interaction, for example. Regarding to Facebook page, so actually in Facebook page, we should pay attention on two things. The first thing is the content, and the second thing is the design of the Facebook page. So the first thing regarding to the content, so informative content can be why join Toastmaster, or how to join Toastmaster. So what is the club activities, and we also can share posts from district base or some interesting posts from international Toastmaster. Regarding to relevant or useful information, it can be a communications or leadership tips, or some meeting demo or speech demo. So the audience, they can have a look how the meeting goes, so they can have familiar with that before they request to join a meeting with us. Another things is credible information. We can share success story or achievement of the club members to inspire others. And the content we use on the Facebook page, it should be concise and give a quick and easy way to get the content, and the content should group under hashtags. We should maximize the hashtags, such as communications or tips or public speaking, something like that is related to the content that you share. This is to share some example for you to see how does it look. I just take some example from Toastmaster International. So this is some example regarding to tips. So this is the efficient communication tips. And another one is also public speaking tips. So we also can see they use quite numbers of hashtags there. This is another example of some quotes, such as storytelling quotes. So there's tons of sorts of material like this one. We don't need to think about it. We just have a look at the page of Toastmaster International and we share it to our page. So that is also aligned with all of the informations from international and district, as well as our club, which is very consistent in communications. So another example, just have a look at this. What do you think? Is it fun? Do you think it is relevant to the Toastmaster?
It looks funny, but it doesn't look like it's on brand.
Yes. Sometimes we should share some content that entertain the audience. We create a friendly online environment, so the audience, when they visit our page, that they feel that this club is very friendly, or sometimes it's very humor. They have a sense of humor, so probably we just try to join. It's not very serious. That is my feeling. So it also depends on the capture you put together with the pictures. For example, see how miscommunication caused. So join Rosedale Toastmaster now, or Palmerston's not Toastmaster now, just an example. So just make it fun, but also still relevant to Toastmaster. Another things, not only content, the Facebook design is also very important, especially a cover page. So the cover page plays an important role in making a first impression to prospective members. So it should deliver the most important and outstanding information about Toastmaster and also call to action. So what should I do when I have a look at this page? What is drive me to take action? So this is just a cover page design that I find out in Toastmaster International. You also can find many others design, so you can choose for your clubs. If you want a link, I can share it, but you just do a search on the Toastmaster International materials. This is another example. So we can change the cover page to make it fresh to the audience. So this is another great example. This is not a Toastmaster example, but I just found it online and share for your reference. This is from OnePlus. OnePlus is a non-profit organization, and its cover page deliver two things. One thing is call to action. Share your story. Share your power. Save lives. And it goes together with a lovely face of a kid that are served by the programs. So it evokes an emotional reaction that motivates people to take actions. What should I do when I visit your page? So what should I do when visit Toastmaster page? I feel very inspiring. I want to join Toastmaster now. Just that feeling. So not only information, but also create the emotional feelings of the audience. So another two things that we can pay attention when we do the activities on Facebook, that is post time and post type. So based on my findings, so the noon time and 3 p.m. on weekdays are best time to post. However, it's very depends on your prospective members. It can be different. So you can keep tracking about the effectiveness of your post. What time do you post? Get more reaction, get more likes, engagement or comment from others, or regarding post type. So there is many post type. For example, in your post, you add together with a video. So I call video post. Another post time is a photo post. So a post go together with a photo. And another one is just a text box, just text only. So based on my observation, the reaction or the engagement of video or post is usually better than photo post and the text post. So that's why we can see the newsletter. The newsletter recently, Elizabeth shared to all of us. She used a video one from Sharon, from other members. Do you say about that one? And it got very good engagement to the audience, right? My summary here, this is just based on my observation and some finding information I find online, some advice how to do PR on social media. However, everything we have to keep tracking and keep improving it based on our observation, based on our target audience. So VPPR, we are not alone. We can get support from district, from Elizabeth. She's very supportive. So what is the support from district? So she can help us to create events on Facebook page. She also can help us to run ads for clubs. We probably do not have budget to promote our club. We run ads for our clubs, but Toastmaster district, she has a budget, so she can help us to run ads. I remember that twice a year. Is that right, Elizabeth? Yeah. Another example, support from district, such as the district, they can help us to share our posts, because we all know that our page followers is just less than 100, but the followers of district page is over 700, I remember, or 800. So the sharing of the district page will help us to get more attention from others. So probably we do not reach the total new Toastmaster members, but we also can attract the members from other clubs. So they can be a dual members to our club, right? So in summary, so our strategy should review, keep tracking, and improving regularly. So just have a look at number of like, share, followers, comment, or page view. And we also can get inputs from club members and club committees. What should we do to improve? What is the content? You also can talk to club members and take turns. For example, we have 12 months. So each month we request a story from each members about story of this person, about the achievement of another person, something like that. You can set content calendar for your clubs. So in order also align with any activities of your clubs or within the area or within district, so you can build the calendar for your clubs as well. And remember, keep watch the activities of other clubs. We are share here, we share here and we learn together. If I follow other clubs and I can see some clubs has very interesting activities or very interesting story, we also can share. So that is the learning. We learn together. We will also have the section to discuss about your success story, or what works, what doesn't work to promote the clubs. So we will discuss in the next section, I think. So that's all for my sharing. So if you have any questions, so I will share within my limited understanding.
Thank you so much, and that was really informative. I learned quite a bit from that presentation from you, especially about demographics. I also think brand management is important. It was a question by Jane, and we will definitely keep on track with that. Is there anyone who would like to ask Anne a question about marketing or public relations for their clubs?
Elizabeth, I've got a question for Anne. Hey, Anne, when you were presenting the prospective member journey, you mentioned a survey as well. Do you have more thoughts on the survey that you would like to share with us, please?
Yeah. Yes, I do have that I do have to develop that survey. So that survey is quite simple. So if you want, I can share it now. So this is just an example of the survey that I do for my team. That is, we have just few questions. It takes about 3 minutes, 3 to 4 minutes. So how long have you been with Toastmaster members? You are being a Toastmaster members, and how many Toastmaster club are you in? Or how did you hear about Toastmaster? So this is a sort of information we know about the journey of our members. And also, I would like to understand the top 3 reasons why they joined Toastmaster. That's why I come up with the demographic, the target audience I shared earlier. So some top reasons why you stay with Rosedale Club, as well as why do they stay with another clubs. Because my objective is not, we know that it's not easy to acquire a new members. So it would be easier if they already be a members of a clubs. So they can be, we can find a dual members. As well as I explore which social channels they are using, or are they willing to recommend Toastmaster to their friends or family, and any recommendations to improve our clubs. So we are not alone. We need to get new idea from our members, as well as their informations, their educations, or their working industry that help us to learn. Yeah, so that is just an example for your informations.
Hi, Anne, and thank you a lot for your great sharing. And this is Angela from One Hour Club. I got a little question. So do you have any experience? So what's the length of the story, or how many words could be fit or could be appropriate for the ads or the story sharing to put on our social media? Thank you.
So it can be 150. I usually use just 150 words in my post. So it also really depends if you have a great stories. So it can be longer, and if you just have some quick tips or some example, it can be shorter. But that is just for just to have something in mind, like that one.
And in your survey, do you have any information with regards to the success of newspaper advertisements? We recently ran ads in our local newspaper, and that's bringing in members to our club. So I guess there are people who follow and don't follow Facebook and other social media avenues, but there are also people who read the newspapers, perhaps in their coffee break and things like that. In your experience, do you have any information regarding the success of placing ads in your local papers?
Actually, in the questions number 3, I have information there. For example, how did you hear about Toastmaster? From friends or college, internet, social media, newspaper, banner, or flyers. So they can state there, or any others. So they can state there. So we can identify that one.
Because I noticed in your presentation that you focus mainly on word of mouth and Facebook, you know, the social media platform.
Yes, it's true. There's many channels that can help us to find the new members, but I just mentioned that is top 2, but it means that we also can get members from other channels. But I just think that is the top 2 channel we get from our members. But you can explore. You just try to ask members in your clubs, how do they hear about Toastmaster? So you can have something in mind about the source of Toastmaster information. And if you see that majorities of your club new members is from a newspaper, so you can focus on newspaper or flyers. It really depends. So just have a look at the source of growth of members in your club.
Thank you.
My home club has received the comment from a couple of younger people have termed that it seems like an old boys network. The average age of the club is 60 plus. We're trying to get new blood in, but it's very difficult to retain the new blood when they come in and see a room full of, I hate to say it, geriatrics, who are set in their ways. At 69 this year, I'm one of the younger members of the club at the moment.
Oh my gosh.
So how can I need advice?
What about mentorship? You want mentors, we are there. Anyone else with a great idea for Neville?
Besides a couple of 22 bullets.
So I just share that you just need to create some very entertaining posts that can attract younger members, because usually younger members, they think something funny, something fancy, I think.
Yeah, Neville, I wonder whether you could structure something around attracting the younger age group by something around either mentoring, as Elizabeth has said, or giving advice from the learned or from the knowledge that you older folks have. I don't know, something like that. I think you might be able to get some newer, some younger members in.
I quickly want to share with you my PRM calendar. I'm busy developing it, but also to give you an idea of what's important to post at the moment. I'm going to share with you my screen, and then we can have a bit of more questions again after that. So I've taken the district calendar, which you would have received with your previous newsletter. Not the one that I sent out, but the one that the admin manager sent out, because I cannot currently share extra documents. But it's also on the website. Let me quickly show you that we had club officer training now, so that was my focus of sharing posts this month. We have a very open calendar for August because of Region 12 training. But we have the virtual convention very soon, where one of our own will be speaking, Amy. And I've got the dates there. I'll soon share photos of an event of last weekend where her home club celebrated what she did, and also celebrated a few of the DTMs in their club and a few other things. From the 1st of August to the 30th of September, we have the Smetley Awards. So that's also going to be the focus, where we have to try to add 5 more members. Like Anne said, we all want to add 5 members for the year, but that will be net growth. And many of you would have experienced last year, like my club, we added 8 members. In the end, we added 11 members, and we still struggled to get 5 net members because some of the people dropped off and some of the older members stopped paying their fees. So it was very difficult to become a distinguished club by adding that 5. We did in the end, but it was still a challenge. But if you focus on the three periods in the year where you'll get incentives from Toastmasters International to have 5 more members, that will also be good. Currently it's a Smedley Award. From February and March it will be Talk Up Toastmasters, and then in May and June it will be Beat the Clock, and you'll have a similar repeat where you get the incentives if you add 5 more members. Then there's also the contest that will run soon. First, your club contest. It's a great idea to advertise that, but also to invite people to be judges, people from other clubs in your vicinity. Then there's the area contest. Different areas will have different contests or different times for their contests. The 12th of September, there will be the awards dinner. If some of your members will be awarded, you can also promote that. There will be the virtual council meeting on the 18th. And then later on, there will be the division contest for humorous and table topics. So now would be a good time to share humorous posts or to share table topics to build up to that. There's another thing that I want to share with you, and that's the Facebook group video challenge. And that's something that I realized would be very important this year, where the contest that we had were online, and we will probably have them in person this year. But the moment we go to a higher level, they will still be on video. So if you can prepare your members to speak comfortably on video without an audience, it will also be a good thing. So I have suggested dates, but you don't have to stick to that. My suggested date is that you start that off yourself as VPPR. You make a video about your success plan for the year, and that will include why masters, who are your mentors and supporters, what educational goals did you achieve last year, and what are you achieving or planning to achieve this year, things like that. And you talk about that on video and you post it on your Facebook page or group for your own club, and then you share it to our group, the district group. So that will create content for your club and also for yourself, but it will also be a way of sharing your story with other people. And then throughout the year, you do the same with other people in your club. So from 8 to 14 August, you can share, why should people visit my club? How is it different? Neville, your club would have a lot of mentors that can share valuable information for other people. And would have people who are working and students, and they also want to work on their skills. Then from 15 to 21 August, we focus on the distinguished Toastmasters in your clubs to create an awareness of distinguished Toastmasters, but also how people can improve to a certain level, become better communicators, better leaders. Then we'll focus on the convention. And then you talk to your immediate past president, who might feel a little left out this year because he's not very active. Why did he or she join Toastmasters? And also share their ideas and the highlights of their previous year. What did the club achieve and that which made them happy, or what obstacles did they need to overcome? And so you go through all your exco or other club members. Have a video of your club president and share their success plan, the VPE. What do they want to achieve for the club this year? And then new members, why did they join? And have a video for that too. It's scary, but Tauranga did that. The very first video that they shared on this challenge was a new member who was brave enough. Then you go to the VPN and they can share their goals for the year, things they want to achieve this year. The treasurer, they're such an important part of your club. The secretary, the sergeant at arms, things that the sergeant at arms do at your club that other clubs might not do. Every club's different. Some share meals, others just have a quick meeting. Then you interview your area director. You can ask the division director why they joined, why they want leadership positions. You can ask your club mentor. You can ask someone who you are mentoring, who's your protege. What are they gaining from you? You can interview your club coach, which you'll have if you have fewer than 12 members. People in your club who started new clubs, who were club sponsors and mentors, ask them, why did they do this? Why are they so excited to start new clubs? Then you can go to other programs that we offer, things like Speechcraft or youth leadership programs. And then who's the pathway champion in your club or in your area? People you can interview and post that either as a video or just as a post. Not everyone will be comfortable with a video. And then in December and January, you can reshare some of the highlights of the year, because you don't want to create posts at that time. You will want to be on holiday. You can, on your page, you can schedule posts beforehand. It will go up automatically. Again, you will start to promote your club again for February, and you will share about the upcoming district conference. And there's something else that you need to think about. When's your club's charter date? When did they start? And what celebration will you have? It can be an open event where you will invite previous members or people who would be interested to share the history and the stories of your club. So any questions, any suggestions? From here on, we all share ideas.
I just had a question for Anne again. Firstly, thank you very much for the presentation. That was really informative, and I've been madly scribbling notes, so thank you. You mentioned that there would be better times to post on social media. How often would you recommend posting?
That is a very good point, because actually, ideally, you should post as often as possible. Let's say for the company when I work, so one of the recommendation is 1 post a day. Yeah, for the company, for a brand, but for our clubs, we should not follow that one. So I also talk to the club team. That is, we focus on the quality rather than quantity, and it really depends on our time. So if you think that you just can post it once a week or twice or quick a week, so just do it. And we keep that frequently. We keep that one. It's not like this week you post 5 posts, but then next week is totally silence, and the next week it's just 1 or something. We keep that frequency as a like my regularly. I think that that brand will have a post every day. If I'm interested on that page, I will follow and have a look what is the new things today. So just keep your frequency.
Awesome, thank you.
I have an idea. I have a suggestion as another means of getting your club out into the media. So what we do at Pacific Toastmasters is the executive have to write down 3 or 4 goals to achieve this year. And what we do is we post our goals on every executive minutes that we take. So they're at the forefront. The individuals could use those goals, could talk to those goals on a video clip, because that can be also very attractive and for anyone. So it's 3 or 4 goals of what you want to achieve in your role, and then talk to that in a video clip. I mean, it can only be 30 seconds. It's not that long, but that's up to you.
Wonderful idea, Marlene. Marlene's got so much wisdom, because she's also been the public relations manager, if I understand correctly, previous years. And she did other things in that year, things like television interviews, radio interviews. And I really want to focus on those things too, because sometimes we do neglect them. It's just much easier to to share things on Facebook, and it's also where many people will go. But if we can as a district, go to a radio station and then promote more than one club, if we can have regular updates on what's going on in Toastmasters, I think that will really help not just one club, but all. If someone hears on the radio about Toastmasters and there's not a Toastmaster, or they can't join that Toastmaster club, they will also look for one in their area. I received emails from people who would like to know where can they find the newest club, how much will it cost them, and what will be the program. And very often they want to do a Speechcraft course. So we do have a Speechcraft club in Auckland, and one or two other clubs that would like to do that. Speechcraft is very important for people who are business orientated. They've been told by their business that they need to work on their speaking skills, but they don't really think about joining a club yet. They just want a quick fix and they want to join a Speechcraft course. So that can also, many people tell me Speechcraft is not a good idea to promote your club, but I do think if you do have that at least once a year, then you'll have people who would like to come. And if you don't, if you advertise it and people don't come for that, then you just continue with your regular meetings. But you have a slot for people to have an 8-week course where they can be signed off and go back to their managers. And maybe they'll improve so much, like the course that I helped with when Marlene presented it. It helped the people there so much. Many of them were already good speakers, but they still needed to gain a few more skills and much confidence. So I am very fond of Speechcraft, and I would promote Speechcraft for you if you have that at your club. Just let me know about that. But I also do think it's really a good way to help people in your community, even small communities. Gavin, did you want to say something? Something that you would, a question you would like to, or a good idea that you would like to share?
Well, we're coming through with our new incoming committee. That was one of our goals, because we lost 11 members through COVID and whatnot. So that was our incoming committee, had a goal of increasing our profile. And we're going to looking to be using Facebook more, and we're looking at, it's early days, we haven't had a committee meeting to confirm it, that we will, but we're actually looking at working together with the other Whangarei club, the Toastmasters at lunchtime, to put on a World Speech Day event on March the 15th. So that would be a good chance, as last year was the first year New Zealand competed or had organised events with national media and so on publicly putting the word out about World Speech Day, to piggyback that off. And even if you were putting some advertising in the free paper or whatever about your speech day event, you could then also promote the club. It just happens that our third Wednesday of the month is 2 days after World Speech Day. So if we have a speech day event, we'll advertise, if you can't attend the World Speech Day event, you can attend our next Toastmasters meeting, which will have a speech day theme.
I also want to promote World Speech Day for the whole district this year, so that people can have small World Speech Day events in smaller towns, and then we can maybe share all those videos on the district YouTube channel, and then tag World Speech Day, and then they'll promote it for us further. So that's a really good promotion for your club, for Toastmasters, for district, and for New Zealand. It will also show people what we can do in New Zealand. I've taken part in 2 World Speech Days. One was in my home country, Namibia, and we organized that in a coffee shop where anyone could come in and listen to us. So it was a kind of an open event, but we also live streamed it on Facebook, and then it was posted to the World Speech Day page also. And then last year, my club here also organized the World Speech Day event, and I had a terrible cold. Oh, that was beginning of this year. It was this current year. So I couldn't attend because I was worried that maybe I do have COVID. And then we moved it from a shopping center to someone's house, but we still recorded it and then we posted it afterwards. So there are many ways that you can have a World Speech Day event, either as an open meeting or as a private meeting where you record it and put it on, but it will give you so much content to use. Neville?
One of the things that we did in one of my old clubs down in District 72 was we held an open meeting in the middle of Queensgate Mall, and it was a full meeting. We had table topics, we had evaluations, we had prepared speeches, and that challenged all our speakers. But on one occasion, we had 63 people standing around watching and talking. I'd like to do the same thing up here in Levin. I have also uploaded onto, speaking of Levin's website, all the World Championship speeches from 1980 onwards, just under a separate link so people can see some of the best speeches. Unfortunately, I can't find Brett Rutledge's online. I'm going to have to cut it out of the DVD that I got from Toastmasters many years ago and increase that. So there's all those sort of things to keep the brand in front of people's faces.
I want to interview previous district directors. Previously, they were known as district governors. The history of the country was recorded for 50 years. But what happened after that? We need to interview those people. I'm planning podcasts, I'm planning YouTube interviews, whatever I can find to honor the heroes of the previous years. So I would be very much interested in that project of yours.
Elizabeth, how about you get hold of Dennis McCord and see who wrote that book and see if he's done any extension work on it.
Oh, fantastic. Will you send me the details, please, Erin?
Yes, absolutely.
We do not have to do everything on our own. There are so many resources and people we can ask to help us. I'm very grateful when I don't have to do everything. Brian? Sorry.
I really enjoyed what Anne shared her screen with. I wouldn't mind if Anne could just explain the objective and how we use that survey information. Also wondering what cooperation Anne got from her members to complete the survey.
Yeah, okay. I would like to share my screen now. Actually, based on the questionnaire I share you, so I used Google Docs survey, or you can use the Survey Monkey like I do here. So it creates a link so you can share to all of the members. So they just do the survey online. Like this one, how many years or how many clubs are you in, or what is how did you hear about Toastmasters? So you just click and submit informations. That is the survey. So when you do the survey online, so you will get the results.
So this is all done through Survey Monkey, is it, Anne?
Yeah, but you also can use them from the form from Google. We just share a link to them, request them to join this survey. Actually, before that, we need to align with the presidents and as well as VP members. We are going to do this and also get advice from the club coach. So he will advise us what should we do, any application with the data we already have. So all of this information we discuss with the club committees and we come up with the survey, and within that alignment. So when I share the PR plan to all of the members, I will share that. I will share a link of a survey to all of the members. So please help me to do the survey so I can better understand our members, so I can do better in communications. So I got very supportive members. So they are all happy for me to do so.
Any other questions that you would like to ask, or ideas that work very well for you in your club?
I've only joined Toastmasters in the last year, but I have to say that one of the things that helped me decide which club I joined was how up-to-date the websites were. So if I looked at a club's website and they didn't have their meeting dates, or their last meeting date was in 2005, I immediately discounted them. I just thought if you couldn't keep that updated, then I wasn't sure how effective that club was going to be. So I would definitely say put an effort into making sure your things are updated.
That's especially true if they meet fortnightly. A lot of clubs will say, oh yes, we meet Wednesday fortnightly.
Yes.
But don't have or they'll have a date in January rather than a date in August.
Yeah. If you're a new person, that just is completely nerve-wracking already. And so to make it even harder, it's just like, I'm not going to bother. I'm going to go to a club that makes it much easier for me to join and visit. And I think there was someone here from the Sunny Nook Club, Debbie. Debbie, last year I think you had some billboards on the street and you put it in some quite effective places, right where there's always traffic in the morning. So when I was waiting to turn right onto a main street, there was this Toastmasters billboard saying, come join our club. And I just thought, what a great place to put that billboard. Because when you're waiting in 8 a.m. traffic, you've got nothing else to do but stare at that billboard. So great placement.
Absolutely. Well, that wasn't me, but it was one of the things that attracted me as well, because I've also been only in Toastmasters for less than a year. So that actually got me spurred on to join them as well. So good one.
I hate to blow Erin's trumpet, but one of the things that a group of Toastmasters did in Wellington a couple of years ago was to actually run Toastmaster meetings on Access Radio. Again, they did it for about 12 months, I think, before it died a natural death. But again, that's something. You had everything in a Toastmasters meeting, and it taught the participants a lot of new skills, exactly the same way that hybrid meetings teach people new skills. Levin has stayed as a hybrid club after COVID lockdown finished, and since then we've attracted visitors from India, from Italy and Finland.
It brings up a good point actually, Neville. The other way around, if there are a lot of Toastmasters clubs online overseas, all these people are locked down, they're all on Zoom. So you can visit a lot of Toastmasters clubs overseas at the moment.
Neville, I'm thinking that maybe you can create podcasts with your meetings, and that will be similar to having it on radio, but people can listen to it when they want to.
One of the things that I have been thinking of through Zoom is that it has, I think Zoom has the option to stream live to Facebook, but I'm not sure whether a 2-hour meeting streamed live to Facebook would be of much interest to people.
I went to a workshop a few days ago about the technical things to do on a Zoom meeting, and they streamed live from Zoom to Facebook, and it was a reasonably long meeting.
Yeah.
But you can maybe record that and then just use the clips that are important. Then it's a bit condensed.
That's where I need technical assistance.
I can help you, Neville.
Okay, good.
I just wanted to share one small point here about media advertising. But when you, Neville mentioned radio interviews or interviews on radio, the lifespan of that is very short. However, if you do turn it into a podcast that people can have access to, then it's worthwhile. Otherwise, if you just go on the radio and talk, people only remember it for that moment, and then the next day it's gone. So it has a very short lifespan. But having something in print or recorded that people have access to has a far better life duration. That's all I wanted to share.
It's a great idea. It's a great idea. And maybe we can also sometimes have the radio and sometimes have the podcast, because with radio you do have a wider audience than you might have with a podcast. But it's a great idea, Marlene. I look forward to having more wonderful ideas with all of you over the next year. Thank you very much, Anne, for that great presentation.
Yeah,
there's a lot of knowledge.
Thank you, Anne.
Thank you very much for hosting this, Elizabeth, and congratulations, Anne, on a fantastic presentation. Fantastic effort today. Thank you to both of you, and I look forward to whatever else is coming up. Even after 14 years, I still get a hell of a lot out of talking to newcomers because they've got the bright ideas. I just need to learn how to twist them to suit me.
That's fantastic. And maybe we can talk about how to edit videos and how to do.
Oh, yes, please.
In future. Thank you very much, everyone, for being here. I do appreciate the support and the enthusiasm.